I can't lie about this 444 synchronicity. It's really the universe telling me that, like, we're doing the right thing. Introduce myself, but hello, I'm Kel, and sharing my spiritual journey with you guys. And I just came back from a little date maybe 2 weeks ago, actually just last week, and it made me think about so many things and how I felt. Because before I went to this date, I did not even plan for this date. I'm not on any type of dating apps. I'm not actively looking for anyone. I just broke up about 4 months ago, and I feel like my perspective has changed and shifted. I don't really see men as a real I don't put them on a pedestal anymore. I used to put them on a pedestal. I always feel like I need that form of male validation, the male gaze. I always feel like I need to attract them. I always have to be impressionable. I have to say certain things. I have to sit a certain way. I have to be dainty. I have to not be authentically myself, because sometimes I'm very strongly opinionated, and when I ignore or I try to betray myself and abandon myself from my truth, from my authenticity, just for people to like me, I tend to feel extremely uncomfortable, and I always ignore that feeling. I always feel like, it's okay, it's just like an uneasy feeling. I really do not give a single damn if you like me. If you don't, it's fine. And honestly, I've been like actively rejecting men because I just don't want to have any form of heartbreaks, or I just feel like I need to focus more on myself and my spiritual development and growth and my business. I do still want to manifest for a guy who would love me wholeheartedly, respect me, a humble man, and it would be great if he is a successful entrepreneur where we can control our own time, we're flexible, we have the freedom to travel anywhere we want, and just basically have the same lifestyle as me. But meanwhile, I feel like I need to heal more and release more before I could go into another cycle or just being with another person. That's only fair for him and me. And I think this is a lot of growth, because usually I don't do that. I always hop from one relationship to another, not giving myself any breaks. So, yeah. Anyways, Butter, do you have anything to say? This video is a little bit unserious, but I'm talking about like such a serious topic. I just want to make things more fun and enjoyable for myself to film, and also for you guys to watch. And I feel like spirituality, it doesn't have to be so serious all the time. It's about sharing, it's about learning, it's about documenting all this. I wasn't trying to be someone else. This time around, before the date, I gave myself a mental prep. I also told myself that I really don't need a man now, so I'm just gonna go there and be friendly, just like have a new friend, and I don't need to be impressionable. I don't need to lie about certain things that I love and dislike just to gain validation and acceptance from a guy. Girl, we need to see ourselves as prizes and not form of like commodity products. I feel like as women, especially for me, I feel like I'm always waiting to be chosen instead of selecting and filtering. I'll always be like, okay, why not? If a guy comes and he's eligible, I always go with the why not mentality. I always feel like, oh, you like me, oh, thank you so much for liking me. But I don't even ask myself, do I like this person, or do I actually just want validation from them? Or do I just love how they worship me? Or do I just love how they are giving me all their love and emotional support? Like, do I actually like this person? Are our values aligned? Does he have the same kind of future planning that I want, or are we on the same level of like frequency, spiritual knowledge? Do we have the same kind of lifestyle? That's really important, because for me, as I grow older, I feel like a lot of people, men, we don't share the same kind of lifestyles. I am self-employed. I am a business owner. I am also doing content creation, and that is my main job. I travel a lot. I also know that whenever I travel, it gives me a lot of energy, and I earn more whenever I travel, whenever I relax, whenever I feel the best for myself. Unfortunately, a lot of the dates and the boyfriends that I am with, we don't share the lifestyle. We don't share the same kind of lifestyle. That's why we have quite a bit of friction, and I always felt like, oh, I have to shrink myself or I have to hold back because of this person. And I kind of create this form of resentment towards them because I feel like, damn, why can't we just have the same kind of lifestyle? And sometimes it can be a little bit selfish. Um, yeah, so in a way, I feel like I always try to force myself into a relationship because I want to be chosen, I want to be held, I want to be loved. But I did not think more out of that. I always think that it's okay, I'll get through it. I always feel like love triumphs over everything, every character flaw, every friction, and it really is not. Talking about both spirituality, attachment style, and what I've learned in relationships, I feel like if just on the first date, when we talk about when we lay everything out and we have interest in each other, not even like first date, maybe like first 5 dates where we kind of have a sense that okay, this might be going well, we have a sense of chemistry, we are vibing well. And when you talk into deeper things like our attachment styles, how we like to be held, love languages, I feel like what's most important is to give love in a way where our partner wants to be loved. If we are not giving love in a way where our partner is asking for, or we don't know what he or she wants, and we just give love in the way we know how, and not even acknowledging what they want, what our partner wants, then it's almost futile because yes, you're putting out the work, you're putting the output, but you're not giving understanding and you're not showing your partner that you could give love and appreciation in the way she or he wants. And yeah, it could be pointless because when I was on the receiving end, I would feel like, okay, like, thank you so much for giving me the way that you know how, but I still don't feel whole. I don't feel like it's enough. And that is essentially the capacity whether a person can hold or like can love you. And circling back to how I feel, and when I spoke to my female friends about how we were when we were younger or even now, whenever an eligible guy just pops up on our laps right in front of us, I feel like I basically would just swoop in and just get into a relationship and not think about any other things. So one ex-girlfriend, like one ex-gal pal once told me that if he or she is a maybe, he or she is definitely not a hell yes, hell no, more of not a hell yes. And if he or she is not a hell yes, then why are we going for it? Why are we forcing ourselves to be in a relationship just to be socially accepted, just so we could get some form of support from people that we don't truly love? And I think that always gets confused with boring love or mundane love. If you are okay with more stable or mundane love, go for it. And sometimes passionate love could be toxic. Sometimes passionate love could be healthy as well. We will never know. And there are so many forms of love in the world where I feel like it's really hard to pinpoint you know, whether a passionate love equates to toxic, because it could be passionate, loving, and healthy. It could be boring and healthy and safety. It could be boring and unhealthy. It really depends on what you want, and to each its own, right? So for me, I always hear people say that, oh, a healthy relationship is a boring one. I don't think it's a boring one. We're probably using the wrong terminology. It could be a steady and peaceful one. And people always mistake peace as boring. But no, peace is so much stability. And if you're a person who always is in, or like find yourself in a toxic relationship when it's volatile, when you get into a peaceful and stable relationship, sometimes you'll have this self-limiting belief, a self sabotage aspect where you would want to create some form of a drama. And I experienced that firsthand myself as well, because I was hard conditioned to think that maybe a passionate love should have some form of like anger, a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of makeup sex, frustration. But now I'm at this stage where like I truly, truly respect and prioritize peace, because when you have a peaceful, loving relationship and it's healthy, you tend to thrive in other aspect of your life, like career, personal life, and obviously your spiritual growth. Because if you have a toxic partner who's a critic every single day whenever you go home, he just talks smack about you, always diminishes your confidence, your esteem, your work, everything just goes downhill. And I can say that from experience. And if you are, as compared to when you are with a man or a partner who is so freaking encouraging, so supportive, always giving you guidance, always giving you that comfortable safety net, a safe space to even talk about your troubles, really willingly wanted to help you, a support system where it's so priceless. It's only when you feel safety from within, and if you could get safety from the external circumstances, you are so very lucky, because you are invincible, and yeah, like things just goes well from there. And meanwhile, if you're single and if you feel really unsafe, you feel a sense of lack, insecure, it's where shadow works come in, where you just need to work on healing your inner child, reframing the bad thoughts that you have. And I'm also going through that, because I feel like after my heartbreak, my self-worth has been going down and down. I have always felt like I was shrinking myself. And from what my energy healer said, the more bright you shine, the more amazing you are. People tend to want to box you up, mold you, and shrink you. And when you deem yourself so much, when other people deem you so much, you obviously would feel like, okay, maybe I'm only worth this XXX amount. Maybe I'm only worth $5, or maybe like I don't deserve love, or maybe like I don't deserve to have a fancy dinner every single week. But no, you are worthy of everything. You are beautiful. If you want to change anything in life, you can change it overnight. You can alchemize your sadness into something powerful. And I keep telling myself that. That's why I keep my journal with me. I always manifest, and I try to tap into, the visualizations, like the other realms, because I truly think that like there's so much more that we could tap into and travel and discover to more abundance in our spiritual path. Yeah, it seems woo-woo, it sounds woo-woo, but like, so real, and I truly believe it. If you want to manifest something, you truly have to believe it. If you don't believe it, then nothing's going to happen, like honestly. So what I'm saying here is that females should stop waiting to be chosen. Instead, we should start filtering and choosing who we want to be with. In this day and age, especially in my late 20s, I'm seeing so many people getting engaged, so many people getting pregnant, buying a house, and starting their family. And people like me who just recently became single after a long relationship, or who are single for a long time, maybe people feel the rush to get into a relationship, to start a family, to fit into the social construct. But everything has a reason. There would be a reason why you're single. Maybe there are like lessons that you have to go through with yourself, self-worth lesson, how you deal with money, how you deal with your time, how hard you are on yourself. Universe is showing you that you just have to wait. You are the prize, you are the trophy. You don't have to settle for less. Every time I settle for less, every time I abandon myself, every time I ignore my gut instinct, it will come back and bite me in my ass, because it's just the universe way of telling me that, hey, I'm telling you all these things. I remember before I got together with my ex, I was injured twice on my feet, and also I had yeast infection, and it was just so bad. And I always felt like, okay, maybe I'm going through some form of transitioning. Maybe I'm just very clumsy. Maybe this, maybe that. No, I always feel like whenever things happen to me, I just let it happen and just like ignore the hidden meaning or like the lessons behind it. But now I'm more aware. I'm like, okay, maybe I should slow down. I have to say something about TikTok and how girls are thinking these days. Some girls, a handful of them, always telling me that I want to have a rich man, I want to have a provider man. And to me, provider man is providing emotional support and maybe some form of financial support as well, so that we can have enough to give our family, our children. And also, I don't have to worry so much about paying bills, and I don't want this kind of like scarcity mindset. But a lot of girls out there, especially on TikTok, we're seeing a lot of yacht girls, a lot of girls who are beautiful, who are just yearning for people to pamper them and not working for it and just wanting, I don't know, monetary support. I do understand that if you're wanting to support your family, if you have a reason for it, like okay, go for it. But I personally, I do not align with it. I don't get impressed when a rich man drives a Lamborghini, a rich man has a yacht. What impressed me is your personality, how spiritual you are, how our frequency match, how we have amazing topics to talk about, how we fit like a puzzle, instead of just having a guy with like fucking a shit ton of money and being a dick all the time, arrogant. And most importantly, if you truly do not align with him in terms of likings to hobbies, your values, how you are as a person, how he is as a person, then what's the point? It's literally just him throwing cash on your face. And is that real love? I don't know, because to me that's not real love, but to each its own. Anyone can have their own type of opinions and views, but I genuinely think that I do want to have a man who is successful, who is an entrepreneur, who has the same kind of lifestyle as me, same value, so we could do spiritual development and growth together. We can tap into the same level of frequency. That gives me a lot of joy and safety. And for me, I feel like I have already put in so much work and invested in myself. I wish my other half, my better half, would do the same as well, because my energy is sacred and I only want to share my energy with people who has already worked on himself, themselves. And that's true meaning of being in love, and I don't want to just randomly grab and select any guy who appear in front of me, because again, I'm not on dating apps because genuinely I feel like the energy within dating apps can be a little bit desperate, and I'm very sensitive to energy and I really don't like to be putting myself out there. I don't know if this would change, but mostly no. I've not been on any dating apps for the past 6 or 7 years, and I don't know, I feel like if there's one man to be and if you're fated to meet, it will happen like one way or another. Sometimes I meet my best friends on the streets, at a cafe. We would just meet each other because we're meant to happen, and if we just keep forcing things to happen and picking and choosing the wrong kind of people, even when you know at the back of your head you already know that it's bad and you still go ahead and do it, you're like blocking your path and your abundance, your manifestation, then why are we doing that? Like, our energy is so precious and bodies are so sacred. We don't need to be sharing it with anyone that is not important. Yeah, so other than that, what did I want to say? I think I covered the things that I want to say, because I genuinely feel like love, energy, synchronicity, everything is in the air. Whatever you want to manifest, you have already manifested. It's just whether like you have the patience for it to come, and when it comes, you also need to be in that right state, in the right vibration and frequency to receive it. If you manifested and it's not here yet, maybe you need to check on whether you're in the right emotion, you're secure within yourself. Maybe the universe is telling you that, hey, maybe we could check on our attachment style. Maybe we're still so anxious about certain outcome, or maybe we're still working on our avoidance attachment style. Maybe we're not done grieving from our ex. We're not done karmic lessons, and we have to process that before we could receive. And there's so many, like, you know, the unknown and possibilities. And I feel like as long as you're in peace and you detach from the outcome, it just miraculously would happen. I trust that. And yeah, like for a long time, I've always been chasing the next chapter. Okay, what's next? Okay, what's the next guy? Who's the next man? What, like, I would use like ChatGPT to like ask, oh, who will be my next man? What archetype would he be? Astrologically, and all sorts of reading. But I feel like the true meaning of manifestation is to really wholeheartedly trust and detach, and you already know it will come. The universe only wants to give you the best thing, even though some lessons are freaking painful, and I can vouch for that. It's just showing you something that you need to overcome in your life, and trust that it will happen. Good things keep flowing to you. You're a money magnet, you're a love magnet, and the universe wants to give you things that you want. You just need to be in the right position to receive it, like a basketball, like okay, and it will be there for you. That would be the end of this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.